Good day, everyone. This is Brent with another fly on the bench for you here from Sportfish on the Fly. Here's a deadly little nymph. I'd just about call this one downright dangerous. This little fly I call rub-a-dub nymph. Basically, the materials we're using for it, the secret behind the success, in my opinion, is a rub-a-dub dubbing. This was developed by Doug Schwisher many years ago. I met Doug up in Montana when just after he made this, when I heard about it the first time. And I know Doug Schwisher and Carl Richards have designed probably the best flies for finicky trout for many, many years. And Doug's fished New Zealand extensively, and I know for sure, and he said this rub-a-dub dubbing on front has really increased his success down there, and those fish can be tough. And so if you're fishing over some hard to catch fish, I'd recommend this one. Here's the materials we're going to need to tie the fly. I'm going to use a size 12 short 1X short curved nymph hook. I'm going to use some dark brown thread, 6/0 thread to tie with. I'm going to use some 15 thou lead wire to hold the bead. The brass bead on here I'm going to be using, or a copper bead, is going to be 7/64. And the body, I'm using some glitter D-rib. You can use Schwandays, you can use vinyl rib if you like. Gives a nice segmentation. We're also going to need some dubbing wax and a lighter, an old Bic lighter. So that should get us all set up. We'll get a hook in the vise, but that is just a great little bug right there. And you can tie in different sizes and colors. Here's some colorations right here. I'll show you, just give an example of, that's a buggy little nymph, of course, and I got different bodies on these, different hackle in the front, and it works. It's not pretty, but they work. You want to go out and catch fish, here's one you want with you. And it works. Oh, just a minute, I want to put this lead on here while will slide up into the bead. It actually helps hold the bead in place. I'm going to take about 6-7 turns here. Lead, that'll just fit right inside that copper bead and hold it in place. Get a good wrap in there. Make sure it's up in there so we don't slide back on you. Okay, now this glitter D-rib I got is a little thicker. This other is smaller. It would actually be a little easier to use, but I like this glitter rib. If I tie that in like that, it's going to be a little too bulky, and I'm not going to get the taper I want, so I'm just going to torch the end of it a little bit, and then I can stretch it out. I can get it thinned out quite a bit. I'll cut off that little bit where I had my fingers on there. So now we got some really thin material to work with, and I'm just going to tie that on the top, follow that along, and see how that's very, very thin. Where I heated that up, it's almost invisible. I'm going to make sure I got my taper correct on here. Just going to throw a half hitch on there. I can use my rotary vise. I'm just going to wind this by hand. Now it's starting to really got a nice taper at the rear, a little thicker as we go up. This glitter rib is really nice. Makes great pattern. I also do an emerger with the same material. I'll get to that at some point. You can watch that as another UV emerger I do. Really good with that. Okay, I'm going to throw a little half hitch on here just to hold everything in place. Bring in some dubbing wax just right at the front. I'm only going to put it on maybe an inch down the thread. Get some of our rub-a-dub. That's just hare's ear nymph with a little rubber legs, and they're dyed. And I'm just going to touch that on the thread. That'll hold that on. And when I come in here, that'll just kind of hold that in place. Doesn't look very pretty right now, I know that. Okay, I got a couple good turns, and I just pull the hackle back. It's basically a fur collar or hackle if you want to call it that. And then I'm going to whip finish it right here behind the copper bead. Now this is the part where you want to take a little time, in my opinion. I'm going to bring a bodkin in here, make sure I got anything that's loose out of the way, because sometimes you get the rubber legs will fold down and get trapped, and just pull it all out. See, I got some extra coming out of there, that's all right. And then I'll come in with a little, use a brush. I'm using this a little wire brush I got here. Use a toothbrush or something, but it sure gets a nice buggy taper to it. You can see the underbody. You got these rubber legs that just swim like nothing else. First time I took this fly, a very heavily pressured trout stream in the foothills of Alberta, I did it was great. We weren't getting any refusals on it at all. I had it in 3 different sizes. I tie this one right down 16s, even use some small material, and it's a great fly. So I don't have any other name for it. I'll just call it the rub-a-dub nymph because it's all made out of that rub-a-dub dubbing, and I hope you can pick it up at your fly shop. If not, I know DougSchwisher.com had it one time when I met up with Doug, and he's a great fellow. He's been around the game for a long time. So if you ever want to look up some great fly patterns for very tough waters, some very Spring Creek situations or spooky trout, Doug and Carl Richards have developed some of the best patterns. You just find their books. I know they published a few books in the past. A great source of material for you guys that are fishing streams. You can hang this one under a cork in a lake. It'll kill them. It's a great fly. So all the best to you, and change up the colors. It comes in all types of colors of dubbing, of course. You got tans and dark hares, ears, browns, blacks, grays. You got all the different choices of vinyl ribs underneath there. You can put wire on there if you want to use a wire body. That'll work too. But you'll definitely have a lot of fun with this fly here, and it's not as innocent as it looks. So you guys folks have a nice day, and guys and gals. So see you in the water.
To watch all our latest Sport Fishing on the Fly episodes and to order Sport Fishing on the Fly merchandise, head to www.sfotf.ca. And if you would like to book an adventure like this one showing, head to ontheflyadventures.ca and book yourself the trip of a lifetime.